Hello, my little weirdos, my little weirdos. um, I want to tell you something that I mentioned to my neighbor last week, and then I mentioned it again yesterday to some girls. Anyway, I live in a neighborhood with more people of color than white folks, and I live across from where kids play a lot, and so I see a lot of hear a lot of conversations, see a lot of them, watching their kids talking at night and stuff. And I went over to my neighbor. They have since had to move Sunday. I did not know. I had gone over to tell him something, and he said that he lost his job 2 months ago. He's a tech worker. We know who did that, Elon. And he they have to get another job before 60 days, right? Otherwise, they have to leave on their plan, on their programs that they're on. Well, he got, against all odds, he got a second job, a good second job. And you know what those bastards told him? He got it within the 60 days. And that's all that's required. And they told him, well, we can't get all this paperwork done by the 60-day cutoff. And so, no, you're supposed to get another job. He got another job. An acceptable job. But they used that bullshit on him. And he told me that after I had gone over to tell him, listen, if this white lady here comes running outside and there's people wearing black clothing around, if you see that and you see me going outside yelling, making a big scene, stuff like that, I said, I'm trying to get their attention, so you have those precious seconds. Get the fuck inside your house. That's the point. That was my point of it. I said, and if I said it, if I have to, I'll like fall down and like scream for help and shit. I was like, if that happens and there's people in black clothing hanging around, do not help me if I'm screaming. Do not help me. Go the fuck in your house and do not come out until they're gone. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to give you those few seconds to get your fucking asses out of sight, if you're pulling in or something, get the fuck back out. I mean, seriously. And then he told me that. I'm like, oh god, fuck. Well, yesterday after I got back from the protest, there was a bunch of kids were out, later that evening. Sorry. And something just kept saying, you need to tell them, because that family had to leave like 5 days later. No, I don't know if they got the message yet. I mean, they were busy thinking of packing and so anyway, so I called out by the window out the screen to these like older teens and the girls, and I asked them to come over real quick. And they came over, and I asked them if they would please, because some of them don't speak English. The father does because he works, but the mom doesn't. So, her English is less. And I don't want to just talk to the men, because in their culture, you should be talking, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to like step on toes or something. So I figured talk to the older girls. And when I told her, if you see me doing that and there's people wearing black, ignore me. Get the hell out. I'm giving you seconds to get out of sight. And one of them looked at me, she goes, really? I'm like, well, yes. And the other one says, for real? I'm like, well, of course. You're my neighbors. Of course I'm going to try to help. I can only stave them off so long. But I'll throw myself on the ground, act like I'm hurt, freaking out, screaming and yelling. I'll be the crazy fucking white lady. Just get your asses out of sight when I'm doing it. Don't make me hurt myself and then you get caught, you know? And the girls, I said, but please tell your parents that. Tell them to tell everybody. To let them know. Because me doing it, if none of you guys are gonna, is pointless. I will be doing it to help y'all. You know? And the girls were like, I was like, don't forget to tell your parents later on, please. And they're like, okay. They just seemed so, you'll do that? I'm like, of course. Why wouldn't I? You guys are here fucking legally. They're the ones being illegal. Of course I'm gonna help you. I'm following the Constitution. They're the ones that aren't. Of course I'm gonna help you because I protect the Constitution. That's right. You know, and it really, it hurt my heart when they looked so surprised. Like, really? I was like, come on, you guys know I'm a safe space. You see the pride flag, you see the autism flag. And they're like, well, yeah, but I think they were expecting just the mouth and not the actual action. Like a lot of people say, but when the shit hits the fan, just like in Nazi Germany, you don't want the spotlight on you because they might get you in trouble for something. That's the problem. That's the problem. And I even said to them, I said, listen, I have, to some degree, just because I'm white, I have white privilege. Of course I'm going to share that with you if I can. What good is privilege if you can't help those who need that help? That's the way privilege should work. It just made me think, made me very emotional to think. And I didn't take it personally, like, really, you would do that? It was more of, you do that? A white person would do that for us? They don't get anything out of it? No. Why do I have to get something out of helping somebody? The whole point of helping is to do it just to help. There's no end game for a lot of us that help. We just want to help. Like the gal who took me to the protest. Not going to mention your name, but you know who I'm talking about. And if you see this, thank you very much. Because I've been to a protest now, and I'll go to others if I have rights. So I can speak from, I've been out there, at least to one. So, it's just, like I said, I'm not suggesting you guys need to do that if you live around people of color. I'm just saying, for me, I did it. Because I meant it. And some people might mean that and absolutely be willing to do the same thing. Never occurred to them to tell the people of color, neighbors, that. Well, if you're willing to do that and prepared to do that, you gotta let the people of color, neighbors, know that's what you're doing. Because it's not gonna help if you do it and they don't realize. They're gonna be like looking, is like, are they okay? Instead of being like, ditch it out. You know what I mean? That's why I said, just look around. If I'm pitching a fit out there, if I'm making a lot of noise, look around first. If there's nobody wearing black or anything suspicious looking, I probably do need help. I might have gotten bit or something, stung by something. But I said, if I'm making if the crazy white lady is out there making a bunch of noise, and there's suspicious people looking around, Tell them, if you're willing to do that, you got to let the people you're protecting know what the point is. So if you see your neighbor pulling up in a car coming back from somewhere, and you know ICE is down the street or something, let them know. Let them know. Because they just wear black. You know, it's not like against the law to wear black. And they're using that to be blending in, to be, you know, quiet, under the radar type of thing. But yeah, but in the spring, all black is kind of sign, because most people are getting away from wearing black as the weather warms up. Not everybody, but at any rate, if you're willing to do the same thing, that's awesome. And I know a lot of people, totally understand. You got jobs, you got kids in school, you got a lot to think about. People like me, I don't have any kids even in the state, so they can't do any harm there. I've got disability, you know, for the foot, and I'm 62, so it's not like I have a boss that I can embarrass the company or something. So might as well be the people like me who have the less risks than waiting for somebody else. That's what you use white privilege for. That is what you use white privilege for. To help the ones that don't have white privilege. And if we didn't have the racist bullshit, we wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm talking to you fucking American racists. I have a reason to hate you. I don't hate you, but I detest you. Because you detest people just because of their color. You, however, don't have a legitimate reason. They're different color than me. Ooh. Did you ever use crayons in your life? They all live in the same box. Yeah. Stupid racist. But yeah. I definitely in the last decade have had a lot of things happen, and after that it was kind of like, you know what, I get less than half a fuck left for most people. And I don't mean that antisocially. I just mean I've got less than half a fuck left for people with no critical thinking, no desire to learn anything new. I have no patience with those people anymore. I just don't. I don't have time. I'm not your mommy. I'm not your teacher. You have internet. If you're bitching at me on the internet, you can use the fucking internet to look up the shit to find out if you're being stupid or not. I don't have time for this game. You want to be in a cult? Get it the fuck out of politics. Cults do not belong to begin with. They certainly don't belong in politics. That's all we want. Get the fuck out of politics. Run your little cult however you want to do it. Keep it the fuck out of politics. And out of everybody else's life. Because you're forcing your fucking cult beliefs on everybody else. How would you like it if Scientology did that to you and forced you the way you're doing them? How would you like if Manson had done that? Just had his people just take over shit. Oh, you wouldn't like it? Yeah, because it's being done to you.